How's it going, everyone? Good. How's the first week of school going? Good. Welcome to the Cal Maritime Information Meeting for 2024 and 2025. I'm Coach Sean Snacks Lindersmith. Most people in the rugby world call me Snacks. You figure out why later on. It's a military nickname, but I'll explain that some other way.
I'm Christina Brackelmans. I know most of you. I'm the athletic trainer for Rugby.
First things first, who am I? I'm the new head coach. Been here a week, just like a lot of the first years. Okay? Trial by fire, trying to figure out everybody, get our comm system down. We use WhatsApp to communicate, right? The returners have been using it pretty well. Thank you everybody for introducing yourselves, letting me save your numbers and all that fun stuff. That's me and my family. Obviously, that's me up there. This is my partner, Katie. Her and I live together in San Jose with my daughter, Madison. My son, Deegan, lives with his mom in Union City. That is my sister, Nicole, with my two adorable nephews, Nathan and the Rizzler, Nolan. He actually likes to be called the Grizzly Bear. The Grizzly Bear, excuse me. So if you ever meet him, he's a little smart bud, right? So there it is. It's my mom, Donita, my dad, Rick. Absolute legends, tough as nails. She was one of my first coaches in my life. So coaching is part of my pedigree, part of what I do, part of what makes me who I am. I believe in the values I believe in. Give me every bit of energy, every bit of effort. I need you to communicate. I value connection. I value feedback. If I ask you for an opinion, I really want to know. I can't improve as a coach, and I can't take our team to any other levels if I don't have feedback.
Valid.
Good. All right. The awkward silence, right? In the huddle, how many times are you just staring at each other like, oh my God, what are we doing? We don't want to stare at it. I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to get us talking and moving pretty quickly. All right? That's who I am. But also, oh, I forgot, my favorite is my 3-year-old pit bull. His name is Baloo. He's a Paw Patrol member, so if you all enjoy that, he will come to get you soon. All right. What is that?
He's going to be my cart buddy.
I love it. What do I hope to accomplish? Actually, I'm going to ask you, what do you want to accomplish in this meeting? You.
Me?
Yes, sir.
Well, I want to learn what our goals are for the team this year, what kind of matches we're going to have on the pitch going forward, changes to the program, and what we can do to help.
We'll start at the end, and we'll work towards the other part of it. The longer we go, we won't do goals today because we don't know what we have yet, but we'll figure that out, okay? I promise you we'll talk about goals, we'll talk about culture, we'll talk about who we are, how we want people to see us, how we want people to hear us, how we want to be a part of this campus. Is that fair? Yeah. We're going to get to goals. We just got to get everybody on the field first. All right? Gavin, what do you want to see? What do you want to accomplish?
Great year of rugby. Just have fun. Yeah, that's kind of about it. Just have fun.
Okay. Anybody else? Anything you want to hear in this meeting or see? Okay. First year recruits. I hope to provide you with enough information to decide, for you to decide to become a valued member of this team, this program. All right. Whether you're in the women's team or the men's team, you are a valued member. Every single keel holler matters. Every bit of energy and effort you bring to this team, to this program, is huge, and you'll see sort of an analogy we use for that. Okay? Thank you for taking the risk for coming in here. People that talked to me last Saturday, my first day, sweating, I had no idea where I was coming from or what I was doing. Thank you for taking a risk. All right? Thank you for listening to these veterans and saying, it's cool, come on out, have a go. Got a new coach, here you are. I hope I give you enough that you decide to keep coming and keep fighting, keep working. Returning players and staff. I want to recognize and reaffirm your enthusiasm and commitment as a valued member of this program. I've learned some things, and I've heard you. I've seen you. And it's not the way it's supposed to be. But we're going to change that. I embrace emotion, and this game has given me so much, and I'm really sorry it hasn't given you everything it could give you. We're going to give you so much. I promise you. Stick with me. It's going to get better. It's going to be rocky. It's going to be a little rough, but it's going to get better. And we're going to play rugby, exciting brand of rugby, 7s, 10s, 15s. Doesn't matter what anybody challenges to. We're going to play an exciting brand of rugby. Right? I promise you. How do I coach? I prefer challenge. I like to use questioning. Real good questions. Not like, hey, what's up? Like, David, what'd you see there to make that pass? Gavin, you took that kick there. What were you reading? Maria, in that scrum, how did that feel? Right? I like to use questions like that. I expect really good questions back. I'm not a coach who's immune to questioning. I want you to be part of that process. This is a 360, player to coach to player, player to player, coaches to coaches. If we can't be honest with every single piece of the puzzle in our family, in our house, in our program, or whatever we want to call it, we're never going to get better. We're going to stay right where we were. I also like to, like I said, embrace emotion. Sometimes you'll see it well out of me because I'm just so freaking proud to be a rugby coach. Man, it's a journey. All right? This is my first team, my first two teams. The one on the top left is University of California, San Diego Women's. The coach on the very left side over there has no idea what he's doing. 2009, I was asked, hey coach, would you come talk about the scrum a little bit? I was a big prop, like to run the ball, like to tackle people. Came out, and those women challenged me. Oh, they challenged me. They asked me questions. They asked, why do we do that? And I had to figure out why. I had to figure out how to communicate with that group of Lady Tritons right there. They were the best scrum in Southern California. When they would hit the scrum machine, the men's team took notice. They ate it up. And I hope you eat it up too. At the same time, I coached St. Augustine High School. I said the same time. I'd go Monday and Wednesdays with Saints, Tuesdays and Thursdays with the Tritons, and on Saturdays I'd play my game. St. Augustine High School is an all-boys Catholic school in San Diego. Again, that coach doesn't look anything like he does today. I got better. I had really good support, really good feedback. I was still an idiot, and I was young, and I was still in the military, and I was deploying, and I didn't have enough time to invest in myself. And both of those teams got really good, even though I didn't put a lot into myself. Fast forward a little bit, took over the United States Coast Guard men's sevens team, 2014. I had played for the United States Coast Guard for 10 years, captained them the last 2 years in 2010, 2011 for 15s. And then that's when I was like 3 years in, right around this time. And this guy right here, Drew Simplasky and Vinny, those guys asked me to coach in 2012, and I said, I'm not ready. I'm not the guy. I'm not ready. In 2014, the coach was there, was leaving, and I said, okay, I'm ready enough. Through that, I worked at Rugby Town Sevens, coaching in a very high-performance environment, putting camps together, getting people to play their game pretty fast within a 10-day period. Through that, I got the opportunity to build and be a part of building the first Coast Guard women's team in the history of the service. Right, this isn't the academy. These are everyday officers and enlisted folk in the United States Coast Guard. These women are the pioneers, and right now they're absolutely killing it. Since 2019, they've played exclusively as the Coast Guard, even though the Navy's trying to absorb them because the Navy doesn't have enough players. All of these jobs, I wasn't ready. I didn't think I was ready. I tried to talk myself out of it. But learning from the players, learning from the coaches, our physios, our administrations, I got better and better. Then I got asked to coach my last job, University of Minnesota. And again, I didn't think I was ready. University, I coached high school, coached collegiate women, coached men's senior club. University is a whole different animal. That's right, it is. But this group of people, these coaches, they challenged me in ways I never thought possible. They built something special, and they made me grow and gain skills I never had. Never had these skills. That team, this whole group here reminds me a lot of what we have here from all the talks that we have. You're not the Gophers. You'll never be the Gophers, right? They'll never be that same team again. But the support, the school support, the family support, the alumni support, the dedicated players who are looking for an opportunity, want to play a consistent schedule, want to be competitive, very similar feeling. And I'm excited to build that with you. Build our program. It's not my team. It's not Christina's team. This is our program. Right? I'm going to ask you to own it. Each and every one of you. And every keel hauler that comes in here, I'm going to ask them to own that too. Is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just all right. Be a little serious. Start with that. I do like to have fun. I promise. Okay. This week I asked a question in the WhatsApp. What do we want in a keel hauler? David is looking hulkish right there, looking great, buddy. Okay. I want to thank all the veterans for replying and telling me as a coach and your teammates and your program mates or whatever you want to call us, what we expect in a keel hauler. First things first, every single one of you is a leader. Every decision, every time you speak is an opportunity for a leadership lesson. Everyone's hearing you. Everyone's seeing you. Do the right thing. Be a keel hauler. Even when no one's looking, do the right thing. Okay? It's real easy to do that. Anybody else got anything on being a leader? I think Packard, you were the one. Packard, you leading that?
Yeah, I was the one that said that. It's also making sure that you're not only helping others, but leading by example is a huge thing. Actions speak louder than words. And being positive.
Yep. Team player. Yes, sir.
I was gonna add, don't be afraid to speak up or
Great addition. Don't be afraid to speak up. I want feedback, right? Team player. What does a good team player look like?
Someone who supports their teammates, in good times and bad times.
Are we gonna have good times? We're gonna have not so good times? We're gonna win together. We're gonna lose together. We're gonna stand in the ring together. We're gonna be on the practice field together. Anybody take a guess? How much percentage of the time will we be together on the practice field? In our time together, what percentage of time is that?
100%.
Close. 90. 90% of our time is on the training field, or in team meetings, or in information meetings, or in the gym, or kicking the ball around. That's the moments. Those are the times when you connect. That's the time when we become a team. The 10% that's left, it's the games. That's the test. All right? Practice is study. Practice is get it wrong. Practice is take risks, get creative, and see what we can do, and build up to going into the game to perform. The game is the test. All right? Practice is study. It's team building time. We want to be competitive. Everybody in this room want to be competitive?
Yes.
Who tricked me in a foot race? Raise your hands. You tricked me to win? Come on. I'm watching you.
Damn. That's crazy.
You're taking out the coach in the first week. What does being competitive look like?
Working hard and wanting to win, wanting to be your best self in the game and practice. Woo! Good.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
I feel like it's practicing hard and practicing a lot. You know, because you cannot practice, show up to the game and be like, I'm the guy. I want to like get rid of all these people. Like I'm the guy. You know, I'm gonna be the one to win.
We go back to being a team player.
Yeah.
Team players show up to practice, and they help you get better. Yes, sir.
do everything you can to get better, but even if you do lose, you take it on the chin and just kind of see that as a progress.
Yeah. Learn how to win, learn how to lose. Be a classy loser. Yeah.
I would say being competitive is especially important in practice. That's where we're bumping heads with each other, and then it's going to translate to the field. So being competitive with the teammates and stuff is what's going to help us, everybody get better, and really want that win. You want that win much more, and it'll be easier once we get on the field. More competitive.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be better than the person next to you. That's all.
Can I disagree with you? Like,
Always.
I want to be my best self, so you have to compete with me, and then the two of us are
Yeah, it's
competing
vice
against
versa.
our
Yeah.
I don't want to be better than you. I want to be better than me yesterday.
Oh yeah, it's another way for them.
Yeah. Fair? Okay. Keel haulers are welcoming. We have new faces in the room, and we're trying to convince them to play rugby, play this beautiful sport that we've played 1 to 10 years to 25 years. All right. New faces, high five them. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the team. We're so glad to have you here. All right. Love it. Love it. What else can you do to be welcoming? You made eye contact.
I would say like something that's welcoming for me is like being on a new team, like having others reach out to you, like, hey, let's go on a run, hey, let's go look, let's go do this together. Kind of doing like team things, being together.
Yeah. Back to that, 90% of our time is not in games. It's connecting, it's going to the gym, it's, hey, we're going to get some food, you want to go with us? Right? Nice stuff. We're respectful. I would prefer us to be the toughest, most hardest competitors on the field, and the team everybody likes to hang out with off the field. They're actually mad about how cool and how nice you are away from the field. Can't believe they beat us so bad, and then they're so much fun to hang out with. They're the nicest students we've ever played with or against. Is that fair? Keel haulers are problem solvers. What's a game? Series of problems over and over again. Looking at a defender, where are they moving, where's their hands, when am I passing, when am I kicking? All right, I'm gonna ask you to problem solve a lot. I'm gonna make problems for you. I also like to coach with chaos. The game is chaotic. Life is chaotic. We're gonna solve a lot of problems together. You learn how to solve problems, your decision-making skills in the moment are that much quicker. All right, how many of you drive a car? Okay, what are we driving? Anywhere from 3 to 7 years at this point? Maybe? 2, okay. You're driving along, right? And a car pulls out, what do you do?
Yes.
Okay, how about we react,
Yeah.
right? We react to a car that's pulling out. How do we know how to react?
Training.
We practice, we train, we drive every day, all right? Our practice is going to look like that. It's going to look like problems that we'll see in a game. I'm not going to make you do arbitrary drills just to do arbitrary drills. Everything will have a purpose, whether it's to have fitness and build a little bit of strength and conditioning, or it's we're going to get really good at passing the ball at the correct time to a person who's running onto the ball. Is that fair? All right, lastly, okay.
That was such a sick try.
Anthony, I think you're the one that said this too. Keel haulers know they're part of a community and something bigger than themselves. Our alumni network's pretty good. They're reaching out. There were guys I knew that I coached in San Diego. Some of them were in that picture from Saints. They love you. They love this team. They love this school. They will do anything for you. We just have to ask, and we have to put out a product, and we have to put out ourselves in a manner that shows class and respect for the school. Is that pretty cool? We have a huge alumni network, right? I think the stat I saw was something like 70% of people within 6 months of graduating from here have a really good job. That's an awesome alumni network. That's something to celebrate. I've already started recruiting kids with that. 2 emails this week, 1 kid from Guam, 1 kid from Hawaii. I ain't slowing down. We're speeding up. We're gaining momentum. Okay? Ah. All right, one more slide here. Listen, full transparency. I will not play ineligible players. I will not jeopardize the playoff circumstances for the competitive folks in this team just because. All right? To be eligible to play rugby for our teams on campus, you must be a full-time student taking a minimum of 12 units per semester. Rugby is considered one unit. If you register before, me and Coach Yoder are going to decide the date, but if you register for the rugby class, that's 1 unit. So if you have 11 plus that one, that's 12. All right? Everybody must also register for the rugby class. I should put that in that slide, my bad. You must carry a minimum of a 2.0 GPA. We'll be doing eligibility checks 3 weeks into the season, halfway through the season, and about 2 weeks before the end of the season before we go to playoffs. All right? Our team GPA is too low. Dudes, I'm looking at you. Ladies, I'm sorry you don't have a grade check yet. 3.0 minimum. I want our team average to be 3.0 minimum. I will give you the time to study. I will give you the time to create study groups. 2.78 or whatever it is, that doesn't indicate how high of a performers you all are. And I'm going to challenge you to get that better. Is that fair? Can I challenge you?
Yeah.
All right. Be within 7 years of high school graduation date. A COVID waiver may apply. I would have to apply for that. And I know how to do that. I know who to make the phone calls to and do all that. So we'll figure that out if that somebody's in that situation. And you must not have played more than 5 years of college rugby in that 7-year period. So if you played 6 years of college rugby, there's not much I can do about that. I don't think that affects anybody here. Anybody play 7 years of college rugby already? That'd be an awesome college career. Let me just say that. But, all right, is that fair? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's if you're coming new to this team, you guys are freshmen, and you guys have it in your head that I can't do this because I'm a mechanical engineer, or I can't do this because my classes are hard. We're all here. Like, I'm a mechanical engineer. There's mechanical engineers on this team. There's dechies. There's business kids. There's the ISS majors. We're all here. We used to have it on this team that we do mandatory study time, so we were given the benefit of the doubt to study. It can be done. It's completely on you if you have the drive to be a part of this team and not make excuses to go to school. So it's completely possible. We're here for you guys. We'll help you out with, hey, what's the best professor for, I don't know, heat transfer or circuits, I can't figure this out, or whatever. Or, we're here for you guys. We're here to support you guys, right? Because the guys before us would also do that for us. So we're here to do that for you guys too, right?
Is that fair to say we're probably the biggest support network on campus? And we'll grow that inch by inch, mile by mile. Okay. What else? Yes, sir.
What does the practice schedule look like?
Tuesdays, Thursdays, Bodner Field, 7:30 to 9:30, the entire program together. What is it?
Tuesday, Thursday.
Technically.
How do you register for your class?
Ad code.
I got to get that information. The codes are being updated as we speak. I will communicate directly to you, all of you, in an email with that information. I'll also put a synopsis, this presentation in there as well. I'll also put a private YouTube link to this so you can watch it back if you want to do that as well. All right, yes, sir.
Is that AM?
PM.
PM.
Yeah. You want to give you time to study, you want time to eat a little bit before practice, and then get you nice and tired so you get a good night's sleep Tuesday, Thursday nights. Yes, sir. Actually, hold on. He was and then you.
Are we not tryouts? Tryouts?
Is tryouts a negative word?
No, it's not new.
If you show up, you make 80% of all the team events that we have, you communicate, and you live up to what a Keo Hauler does, you're a member of this team.
Congratulations.
Woo. No, seriously. We need every single person here. This is a small school. Not a lot of bodies. We're going to gain more bodies, though, because we're going to be having fun. You guys are going to be laughing. You're going to be having a good time out on the field, playing games. I like to play a lot of games. I like to move the ball. I like to run. I like to catch the other team sleeping. And I want to teach you to do that. All right? Declan.
I was just checking, did I misunderstand? First year students do not need a physical?
Correct. As long as you've done your physical for the school.
Returners don't need a concussion if they haven't had a concussion in a year.
Correct.
Everybody got those metrics for the concussions and physical concussion testing
Yeah.
and physicals?
I'll email you tomorrow, as long as you guys sign that roster stuff.
Yeah. Where's the roster at? Smart. Thank you. What else? Any other questions before I leave with two things? Yes, sir.
How do we get on the WhatsApp group chat?
You put your phone number in the book. Way we go. I'll add you as soon as I can. All right. It might take me about a day. Well, I'll try to do it tonight when I get home, so that way you know 10 o'clock tomorrow morning for physical or concussion testing. Okay. Anything else? Floor's open. Floor's open. Anybody? Yes, sir.
What is the next practice?
September 3rd is our first practice. Now, I'm giving you all a week to get all your stuff done. If you need that test tomorrow, please don't miss it. Please don't make me or Coach Christina come chase you down.
Or me, or Wilson.
Or any veteran in this team. Yes, sir.
Or
Have you decided about that yet?
That decision will be made by Tuesday. I've been consulting with the leaders about getting more consistent competition without a lot of travel. And hopefully our budget maintains itself in a good manner, and we have a really long runway to get prepared. All right? I'm looking at us playing D1 AA for the men and the Women's West Coast Conference 10s for the women. All right? Women will play schools like Santa Cruz, Monterey Bay. Cal Berkeley's talking about putting in a 10s team with a little bit more, not inexperienced, but like newer players. San Jose State might put in a newer type team. And St. Mary's is the other team that'll be in there besides us. Yep. Men's, right now, Fresno State, Chico State, Stanford, Reno, Arizona State will travel to us, hopefully. And the final game would be San Jose State before playoffs. Yes, sir.
What is your late/absent policy?
Okay. Everybody listen up. From now, those of you who've been in the group, can you tell that I really like communication? I expect you to communicate. All right. What's the percentage of team events you need to hit to be a valued member of this team? 80%. All right. If you're gonna miss, you have a test, you have a job interview, you have an internship review or something, text me. If you text me and tell me what's going on, it gives me an opportunity to do two things. One, cheer you on. Go kill it. Crush that test. Get your studying done. I want that GPA up. Nice job. Or two, if you're texting me pretty consistently and I'm seeing a pattern of absenteeism, me and the leaders will intervene and come support you. We'll come check on you. Hey, dude, you need help? Hey, there's a study group. How about you jump in with us? All right? As leaders, as keel hauler leaders in this program, anybody who's here is empowered to check on their teammates. Cross team, coaches as well. Like if you see a coach having a bad day, pick them up too. You are all empowered to communicate. I'm not one of those coaches that is like, go communicate with me and then I'm gonna bust you up. No, I'm gonna be empathetic to that. Sometimes I might be sympathetic if you're having a really bad day. Promise you, you're not gonna get crap about it. All right? But if we're missing enough and my attendance sheet shows it, we're gonna have to have some talks. That just means, how do I help you put things into priorities so you could do what you want to do? Because you said you wanted to play rugby. You said you wanted to be a keel hauler. All right? Now I want to talk about something uncomfortable. If the time comes that anybody in this program ever decides it's not time, you're never going to let us down. You're not letting me down. You're not letting Christina down. You're not letting the leaders down. Sometimes you need to go away and you need to take care of business, put your priorities in a row, and rugby will always be here when you get back. Don't ever be afraid to come bring me bad news like that. All right? It's okay. I've stepped away too. That Saints team, I stepped away in 2016 for a whole year. I need to spend more time with my kids. I need to figure out my career. I need to spend more time with my partner. And I took a year off. And I stood in front of a group and I broke down. And they looked me in the face and said, "It's okay, coach. Come back." You know what I did a year later? Came back and helped them out. Moved to Minnesota, got in with the Gophers, kept coaching, grew my love and passion for the game. And now I'm a keel hauler. All right? A little bit long-winded, but like some of the best players I've ever coached have had to go away and figure it out for a couple weeks and come back. If your physicals are done, your concussion testing's done, you're eligible, you go away for a couple weeks and you come back, that's fine. Like Anthony Perez, right?
Yeah.
Anthony's got late classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We've already talked about making what he can make this fall, because then in the spring, he's full go. Right? Is that fair? Just come talk to me. It'll be okay. I want to hire assistant coaches. I want a female assistant coach that I will help develop to be more of a leadership presence in the female team, in our women's team. You need representation. All right? I love representing you, and I will always be your biggest fan, but I can't do this forever. I won't be here forever, but I need to find young coaches who want to get experience, who want to get to know you, who want to connect with you, who want to be a part of this program. I've already talked to 3 people today. All right? It's going to take me about, I say, a month to 2 months to find the right person. They've got to fit in here. Men's assistant coaches as well. They've got to want to be a keel hauler. They've got to want to get in alignment. They've got to be on board with our plans. All right? And as a team, we're going to make plans. We're going to set goals. We're going to set realistic goals with timelines, and we're going to look at people and we're going to say, when this hits, game over. All right?
Being injured is not an excuse to miss practice. Just, if you didn't know that. So, if you have an ankle sprain, doesn't mean you don't show up. If you have, there are lots of things we can do on the sidelines. I can still do 4, right? You can still cheer your team on. We're talking about being a team player. Learn the game. You learn the game at these practices. It's not just running. It's not just throwing. There's lots that you're going to be learning, right? So it is not an excuse. Shin splints, not an excuse. All of these things are not an excuse. You can communicate with us, and there will be some times when you do need to stay out, like a concussion, understandably. Surgeries, understandable, right? But that part of that is a communication. If you just don't show up and you're like, well, you knew I had this, our assumption is you're going to come to practice.
If you're injured.
Yeah?
If you're injured, Christina's going to be at practice to help you rehab or give you things to do to get better. If you're not getting better, what you've done to rehab, you coach with me and the other coaches. You still enjoy the team environment. Injuries take longer to heal when you're disconnected. When you're connected to your group, your network, your support system, injuries heal faster. I promise you. Okay? Injuries aren't preventable, but we're going to do all we can to reduce the risk of it. We're going to do lots of training to make sure that you all are prepared to play. Okay? How's that sound? All right, I'm going to leave you with 2 things, all right? If you're undecided about rugby, I want to introduce Fireman Lindersmith, age 19. Engine room with the Coast Guard Cutter Rush. Stunning young lad. Has no clue what's happening in his life. Nowhere to go. He's living in Hawaii on the ship, eating 3 squares a meal in the mess deck. And I meet a guy named Kenny Miller. Kenny Miller, I was a fireman apprentice. Kenny was my 3rd class petty officer. He's the guy that welcomed me onto the ship. He brought me in, did my egress training, took me around the engine room, helped me get qualified, figured out my way of life in the Coast Guard, and got me moving. I started playing rugby in Hawaii. Kenny would never play rugby. He's a big animal. You can see how big he is. That forehead is huge. Okay. Kenny moves to San Diego. I stay on the ship for 1 more year. He starts playing rugby, and then hopefully I can't see it, but you can tell here, Kenny and I played Coast Guard rugby in 2009, and he is really not impressed with my sorority squad. Okay, we continued to play Coast Guard rugby for a few years, and then in 2009, I was going to quit rugby. Completely. Going to go play kickball. I played for a team that had all the support in the world, all the physios, the most beautiful training facilities, and we never went to playoffs. We weren't connected. Guys were more focused on doing stuff off the field and getting better on the field. And I literally called my coach and said, I'm done. The next day, Kenny Miller called me. That's in there. That's in there. That's in there. Called me and said, I got a 1-year tour in San Diego. His wife and him were moving in, and he said, don't quit. We always wanted to play together. Play one more year. I became the captain of the old Aztecs. We went to 2 Final Fours, 2 third-place finishes in the nation of Division II. We went 44, 1, and 1. And I almost went and played kickball. In that time, I found my career. I was finishing off in the Coast Guard, and then I joined events in rugby. The last bit, Kenny's first salute, he commissioned as a warrant officer, tricked me into being his first salute. It was the worst trick in the history of the world. Pretty funny story, I'll tell you that again. And then through life, we've done so much more. But it was a rugby field that connected us. Our Maritime, our Coast Guard world connected us. And we met at a young point, informative point in our lives. Now we have families. Now we've worked PR7s together. He's working international rugby events with me. And we're at the hip, we're lockstep. That's a 25-year friendship that I got because I turned up and was a little jackwagon on the ship. All right? If you're undecided about rugby, the friendships you can make in this room enable you to do these types of things. Have this kind of support. He's the guy I call on the way home. He's in Nebraska, hating life. There's not an In-N-Out burger there at all. It's terrible. But if I don't decide to play, he doesn't decide to play Coast Guard rugby, I don't know where I'd be. I wouldn't be a keel I'd probably be a hell of a cornhole player or a kickball player. What's that? What's that picture of?
Water.
Water. Kind of a slow rolling swell, eh? Yeah? What happens to a swell as it gets closer to shore?
It breaks.
Picks up energy, right? It has to maintain energy, momentum. I probably asked the smartest class in the world about oceanography, so I'm sorry about that, all right? But this is us right now. We're slow, and we're steady, and we're ready to add energy a little bit at a time. All of you are bringing your energy, your effort to this program. I'm bringing a lot, and I'm going to pick us up a lot, I promise you. Christina's bringing a ton as well. Norm, right? Norm's our PA announcer. This guy's sitting in our team meeting. There's a whole world out there that's going to add energy and effort to this. And when we get going, this could be us after learning, growing, and adding energy to the preseason. Every rep, every lift, every sprint, every pass, they all count. My philosophy is to stack little wins. You're gonna stack wins, stack wins, stack wins, you'll take a loss. Wins, loss. As long as your wins are above your loss column, you're in a great position. I can't make you win, but we're gonna learn how to win. We're gonna learn how to be in the position to win games, to win battles, to win collisions, to win passing. And I'm sorry, but come the season, our competition's taking that wave on the head. We're picking up steam, and I would love to have all of you come January 25th when we come back and we open up our season, if not more of you. All right? David, what's our recruiting challenge we have on right now?
Everyone has to recruit 3 people and have them stay and keep a high retention rate.
Yeah. I would love for you to have 3 conversations with 3 new people that aren't in this room. We consider all of you. Recruits, freshmen, first years, you're also in on this. If you recruit people and they stay and you have the highest amount of people, I'll find some swag or something for you. All right? There'll be a representative from the women's team and the men's team, the best recruiters on each side. Game on. Start competing right now. All right? What else I got in there? Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Will we have to buy any gear or anything?
Great question. We are a varsity program. We are a varsity program. We will get uniforms, we'll get travel gear, we'll get training gear. Some of that comes back, some of it you get to keep. All right, you won't have to buy that. We may ask for some help fundraising. I'm learning all about it. It's called eSport, I think. It's called eSport or something, where you put in email addresses. We have an alumni network, we have a family network. We can use all of our tools to our ability to fundraise to get even cooler things. But my job right now is to figure out the budget for the year, and new match kit and maybe some cool training gear is part of that. I just gotta see what the cost comes back. That also means your registration for our competition, that's part of our budget. All right, your travel, part of our budget. You get some sort of per diem or food. We might buy sandwiches as opposed to giving you per diem on the road if it's a long trip. All right, you get a one person per bed, hotel room, 2 people in a room. Yes, somebody have a question? No?
You're probably gonna have to buy your cleats.
Oh yeah.
It's like that's like the only thing. It's just yeah.
Cleats and mouth guard. All right.
How
Listen,
close otherwise.
we talked about tryouts. The first couple sessions are try rugby. We're trying rugby. It's good. We're trying rugby. There's no tryouts. If you come, you make 80% of practices, you decide to stay, you're in. And we're moving forward. We'll be part of the wave. All right? What else? But coach, what if I walk away and I forgot to ask you? I'll be in the WhatsApp. You have my email. I'm open. I'm accessible. All right? I want you to have what you need to make good decisions. All right? Both in playing rugby, at school, injury prevention and rehabilitation. All right? Happy to answer that. This is a collaborative process. All right? Anything else?
Clap it up for Coach Neck.